Hello everybody, this is toysareruss, and for this new figure unboxing and review we're going to be looking at the Takara Tomy. This is their new Masterpiece figure. This is MP58 Hoist. So what we're going to do with this video, we're going to unbox him live in a second, have a look at the entire contents of the packaging. We'll have a detailed look at him in both of his modes to help you decide how you want to display him. We're going to have a look at how all his accessories can be attached in both modes to see how you want to use them as well. We're going to, of course, do some comparisons with him and Trailbreaker. We're going to bring in loads of other Masterpiece figures and indeed some mainline figures as well, just to give you an idea, I suppose, of how big he is and how well he scales with the rest of the line. So before we get started, I need to thank Show's eStore, because that's where this came from, and as you can see, they got it to me nice, quickly and safely. And also to remind anybody who's not subscribed to the channel, if you'd like to hit that subscribe button for me now, please. Right, let's quickly look at the packaging then, and this is obviously your industry standard Takara Tomy Masterpiece packaging, a black box, lovely high gloss sheen. This is slightly raised, and yeah, I'm really excited to see this guy. I think they've done a great job from what I've seen in the images of getting it really condensed, you know, with most cars at the front, especially the G1 original, which we'll bring in later on, and indeed even you know, the earthrise version of him, the front tended to stick out quite far, but they seem to have managed to have sorted that out completely. Right, let's have a look at what's inside here then. So again, with it being a Masterpiece product, it is officially licensed via Toyota. To be honest, it's a Toyota pickup truck of some description. Is it Hilux? It says so there. I have to confess, and you can laugh at me, my knowledge on cars is not the greatest at all. And he's going to be packaged, I would presume, yep, in his alternate mode, which he is there. We've got, again, there's loads of plastic packaging. That's because the plastic laws in Japan are very different to the rest of the world. We've got all of this. We've got a collector's card, some instructions there. We've got him in his alternate mode and an abundance of accessories. So what I need to do is set him free from here, open up these, then we can have a quick look at these before we carry on. Okay then, so I've set him free from the packaging. We'll have a quick look at him in a second. I just want to very quickly show you his collector's card. There we go, MP58 Hoist, and then you've got his stats and details on the back. Now the accessories that come with him is the crane hook. I'm going to show you this in a second, or claw, whatever you want to call it. The alien head, I'm going to say, for when he's in robot mode. Same as his equipment, to be fair. He's got his spanner, which is a lovely chrome. We've got a hammer. We've got a blast effect that I would presume that you could, yeah, attach to the hammer, no problem. We've got a fist, because like the G1 toy, you can swap out either the extensions or, of course, the fist. We've got a spare head and we've got a bumper, but I'm going to show you the bumper in a second. Let me just get rid of this because it still keeps focusing in on it, and let's have a look at, to be honest, the quite impressive, I say quite impressive, it does look really good, but the first thing that sort of strikes me straight away, and it's one of the main reasons that I did, you know, stop collecting Masterpiece a few years back, is that it doesn't feel super weighty. I think it looks great. Oh, I've just clicked that back in, but you know, with some of the third parties that I've been reviewing recently, like Fans Toys, etc., there's a lot of metal and a lot of die cast in their figures, and I don't know why Takara Tomy have decided to stop using it. I mean, it's obviously due to cost, but it's just a bit of a shame, to be honest. It does look good though, you know. Of course, as I say, it's got the there you go, you can see at the back it says Toyota, so it's got the Toyota license to replicate the vehicle. So again, all the dynamics, all the proportions and everything are exactly the same. We've got this tow bar at the back, which can be folded up. I don't want to push too hard. Could it go much further? It'll go either, will it go any higher than that? I'm not too sure. It'll come up, but it'll also come down, and of course you can attach which cars can we attach to it? I think anything, as long as we get it under the front bumper. Typically I went and missed that there. Is this too high? There you go. If it wasn't such a high car, you could attach it to there. So maybe, I think the video in the pictures it shows Bumblebee. Unfortunately, I do not have Bumblebee, so there we go. It's gonna have to be the Stranger Things van instead. But you can see it fits, sorry, it suits its purpose. It does exactly what it's supposed to do. It does tow, and as you can see, there's an individual rolling wheel on there as well. These, of course, all spin round, which you've just seen. Only negative again with these is they are solid plastic and painted, so there's no rubber tires. Details on the vehicle, we've got the lovely Autobot logo there. There's still a protected bit of packaging in the head because you've seen me literally just take it out, and I've not had to play with this at all. This is just fresh from the box. I've seen in the pictures on the back of the box that if I was to have Spike or another one of the little characters, you could pop them in there and of course make it look like they are driving because there's seats in there, but the doors will close and open up, as you can see. These will move around as well. If we lift up the hood, or the bonnet as it's called in the UK, you can see engine detail in there. And then this is what I was going to show you. So we've got toy, I presume they call this, it's the toy deco, because you've got the chrome at the front. This should, same as Trailbreaker, just slide off, and then the animated deco will of course just slot back on like so, and you can close that up. I'm going to put the toy one on because I'm going to get the G1 toy, and we're going to have a look at that compared to that in a second as well. Let me just reattach, and then that comes on hinges, as you can see, so it'll come forwards and backwards. We can push that all the way in, clip that into place, and the claw, the hook, whatever you want to call it, it's claw, isn't it? Yeah, it's not a hook at all. The claw has its own individual articulated points on here. This can move quite a bit actually by the looks of this. Yeah, loads of articulation on it. Again, great. I love the fact that they are coming with loads of accessories, exactly like this. There isn't really much more to say about it. It looks exactly like what it's supposed to look like, and it looks even, you know, exactly, and I mean exactly because it is licensed, so it is a replica of the vehicle it is supposed to be. Right, let's bring in G1 Hoist. So there we go, here is G1 Hoist, and as you can see, we've got these same chrome bumpers, which is what I wanted to keep. I just need to take the claw off, but what is noticeable is that the Masterpiece green is a much darker green compared to the original. I've just realized as well there's no Autobot logo there, as in the rub sign. The main one on the front is there, of course. It looks great. The translucent blue window is different. This is obviously more, I suppose, realistic colored windscreen, but of course we do and we will have the visible head, as I say, which is inside there. It's incredibly similar to the original. Just the colours are the only thing that's different, and I suppose the proportions, as I've already mentioned, these are more realistic than that. It would have been nice if they'd have had the rubber wheels on this, but to be honest, there isn't really anything more to say about the alternate mode. It looks great, it serves its purpose, but I think everybody wants to see, myself included, what he looks like in the robot. So we're going to come back right now, and he's going to be in robot mode. So here he is in robot mode. Apologies for no transformation process on this video. That's because I'm uploading a tutorial separately, and I want to keep the main length of the video down. I've got to confess straight away though, looking at this guy, it's very impressive, and it is very, very clever. It's not too overly complicated either, and although he does feel, as I say, a little bit lighter and nowhere near as much die cast in as some of the other Masterpiece figures out there, it does look really good. I mean, that is cartoon accurate. It really, really is, without the huge yeah, you know, front of the car, stomach or whatever. It's very cleverly done. Let's have a quick look at some of the features before we look at some of the articulation. So we can take the head. This just simply pops off nice and simple. You can see that dowel there. So I've got the spare one here. So this one was just a normal sort of face. This one, I don't really know the difference, to be fair. It looks like he's got a visible nose. I'm not too sure. Let's pop it in anyway and see how this fits. This should just, it says should just slot in. I can't see why it wouldn't. Yep, there you go. Slots in, no problem whatsoever. We've also got the mask. I think it was Hoist Goes to Hollywood, something like that. This will fit over, yeah, it'll go over the top, so this fits over the groove, nice and simple as that. You've got a groove on the head, that'll fit there. It looks a little odd, but of course it does fit, and it is an accessory. I wonder how many people will use that. Let me know if you'd ever actually use it for display purposes or just for a bit of fun. Let's have a look at the articulation then before we look at some of the other things. So the head will, of course, if I put that in right, it should turn around. I don't think there's as much movement. That's better. It was just catching a little bit, so you can look left and right, obviously, look up and down a little bit. So full range of motion there. This will also move up and down as well for those people who wanted to know. These shoulders, you can sort of get the T, but you can see that they are quite restricted. You can spin them all the way around like so, but there's so many of these moving joints and hinges here. If I show you what I mean, so on the top of this one you can see you've got the hinge there, but you could still turn that hinge that way to give it movement this way and that. You can turn it all upside down and again get the same amount of movements, or you can hold there and bring it back to how it should be, and then you've got loads of articulation still there. You can spin underneath the shoulder. You've got bicep flexion, like a double bicep joint there. You can see that folding all the way up. That'll come out to the side. I think as well you can bring the arms a little bit further forward. There is articulation in the fingers, the three, the index and the hand, so you can grab hold of some other accessories, like there's the hammer. I think, was this version of the Dinobots? One of them anyway, where you can pop the hammer in his hand. He can hold on to that. I've put the blast effect on there as well, which of course, let me just make sure that's better. Make his hand grip around it and hold it up. So we've got that works. There's a spanner you can put in as well. But the one thing I have noticed is that it is missing, obviously, I suppose, what I would class, oh no it isn't, I was going to say the industry standard groove, but there is the groove. I can see the groove in there now as soon as I've said that. We've got this part here, which funnily enough does telescope right out as well, which is good. We can also take this, and this will then lift. Oh, that'll slot off there just like so, and then if you wanted to, you can just pop his normal, I say normal, obviously robotic hand on instead. Is that going to fit there? I really should practice with these before. There you go, it does, it just fits on. Funnily enough, thankfully enough as well, it does fit normally, but it just does cascade in and out as well. You could of course put the spanner, I'm just checking if that's plastic or die cast. It's lovely in chrome, but it's not die cast at all. This can go in and that can be held if I can push it around. Yeah, I think you get the gist of all the accessories anyway. But I suppose one of the best accessories that you can use in this same mode, you can still use the giant claw, because this will just attach into the back of this. So we just slightly move that out of the way, and then this will still attach over. Oops. And it can reach over, and you can still, I've just disconnected that of course by accident. We can tab this back in, and you can still attach the claw. Let me lift this up so you can see it's slightly better. So, you know, even though these are aimed at more, I say, adult collectors, there's still a lot of fun that you can do, a lot of playability. And I mean, let's be honest, loads of people make a good living from photography, with toy photography. So I suppose the more accessories that come with it, the more dynamic poses, the better the pictures, all that sort of stuff that you can do. So you can see dual reasons for why they bring so much accessories. Right, we only got to articulation down to the arms. The waist, there isn't a swivel. It is hugely hindered by the kibble, but you can see there's individual swivels, Charlie Chaplin, on each of the thighs. So you've got full full rotating articulation. That was terrible English. Rotating articulation at the thighs as well as them going out. And then this is quite interesting. It's like a hyperextension, which enables you to bend at the top of the thigh and kick all the way up. It looks awful. If it was a human, it would be awful. But of course, because it's a robot, I suppose they can get away with it. And it does just I suppose help the fact that there is all this kibble stopping you being able to kick the leg back. If this does disconnect, you get a bit of extra range of motion, but it should, and it will just tab in above there. Ooh, I've just knocked it out of alignment. What I'm looking to do is just, there's a little tab in the back of this. Oh, let's straighten everything back up and click it in. There we go. So there's loads of articulation there. There is of course a knee bend as well. There's even like an ankle bend as well. See that? So you've got two bends, you've got a toe tap, lift up, and you've got your rock as well. So as you'd expect, fully articulate, loads of things that you can do with it. To be honest, it's fun. The translucent window I haven't got a problem with. I say this on all of the figures. They don't bother me at all. You can as well if you want to. You can still change the bumper like we had in the first part of the video. Let's have a look though how he looks compared to his G1 self, and this may give you an idea of just how much bigger he is as well. It's a huge figure. It's very good, and I've obviously chose to give, funnily enough, it's interesting that they do that. Obviously this hand wasn't a proper hand, it's a bit like the G1 toy, and you'll see what I mean now about the extra width and all that sort of stuff on these. They've done a really good job. I wonder if they'll chuck a right, I suppose, not an Easter egg or a complete, what's the word I'm after, something which they're not expecting. I wonder if they'd ever do something like the Mexican version, which is known as Hoist Breaker. We know we're getting a yellow version, but imagine if they went and did the Hoist mold with the Trailbreaker head, which was of course the Mexican era variant from Generation 1. It would just be crazy if they went and threw that out there as well. I just thought I'd pop that in, so to give you an idea of size of this particular figure. So if you're a G1 collector and you don't have Hoist, there is Optimus Prime. Let's bring up Masterpiece Soundwave. He's quite a big one, to be honest, big figure, and he's still quite a bit taller. Right, with regards to some of today's figures, oh, I need to bring this guy in as well, of course I do. Earthrise, he's way bigger than the Earthrise version, so there you go. And as I said, let's bring in some up-to-date figures. So pretty much this is as new as you're going to get at the moment, but he's quite a small, he's definitely a small Voyager class, obviously. Let's bring in what we would suppose be more known as a Voyager class figure. So yeah, this guy's a good leader class size figure, to be honest, but obviously totally different price point due to everything else that's going on with him. I know these figures aren't supposed to scale at all, it's just to give you an idea. If you collect third-party legend scale figures, you can see that they're up to about their waist, if that. To be honest, guys, I don't think there's much more to show you with this. I think, as I say, it's a great figure, to be honest. The Masterpiece line is fully intriguing me again. I did start collecting them again, mainly for the train bots, but they unfortunately haven't impressed me as much as I thought they would. I'm going to go back with this. I'm just swapping it over, but this has impressed me. Trailbreaker impressed me, and the Skids mold has really impressed me, and then the rest of the ones, until we go far back to the Datsuns, I didn't ever purchase, so I can't comment on how much they've improved or not improved since then. What I will say is I like the fact that the transformation processes for these ones, for this especially, isn't ridiculous. You will see that in an uploaded video. Negatives, you could say they've got plastic wheels, not rubber. Some people might call that negative there, the translucent windows. For me, it doesn't bother me whatsoever. And then other people might say that there's not enough die cast in it as well. But I suppose if you're going for aesthetics and you're going for a figure that's fun, and yeah, poses really well in both modes with accessories, then it's a great figure. And I think that's all I've got to say about it. So there you go. That is Masterpiece Hoist. I want you guys to let me know what you think of him in the comments. Take care.